My name is Christina Dilks, and I am the Director of TRIO Student Support Services. We're very lucky that Bloomfield College, where I work in Bloomfield, New Jersey, has two TRIO programs. So we have a Student Support Services and we have a McNair Scholars program here on campus, which means that we have a pretty large first generation community. What I can say is I started looking it up, and this year our incoming freshmen have 46% of them have identified as first generation students. And I was looking at our information for our student support services cohort, and 86% of our continuing and incoming students identify as first generation students. We have not really at Bloomfield embraced that idea of being first generation and all of the pride that we should have as being first generation students. So what I'm hoping is that this year's panel discussion, all of the different things that we're doing for first generation college students will really have students feel like they have another identity that they can own and see that there's faculty and staff on campus that are the same as they are. We were so excited that we actually received the grant, and I thought a lot about what we would do with the grant. And we are really lucky this year that we have a significant amount of collaboration from other areas on campus. And they were wonderful in helping us understand the ways that we could utilize the very generous grant from the First Generation Celebration Committee. What we're going to do with it is we're going to use that money to buy lapel pins that are the first generation logo. So the exact logo that nationally we are using, we're going to have that as a lapel pin. And we're going to give it to our first generation students for free so that they can wear it and show their pride in being first generation students, while also understanding that this is a national movement to know what first generation students deal with and what it means to have that identity. But then what we're hoping to do and what we're moving along with is that we are going to ask our faculty and staff who are either first generation or allies for first generation students to donate money for those pins. And in that way, we can utilize the money donated, and we are going to give it to either one of two already established funds that are scholarships for students. So there is one that is the Bloomfield College Scholarship, and there is another one that is the President Evans Emergency Scholarship Fund. We haven't figured out which one we're going to utilize yet, but we would earmark it for a first generation student. And then my plan, hopefully, is to keep this alive, not just now and then every November, but to hopefully put the pin in the Bloomfield College bookstore and have a proceed of that continually go into that fund. Might not be hundreds of dollars at one point, but even a little bit can count. And if incoming families purchase that first generation status pin, then 5, 10, 15 families, that's more money than the fund had before they purchased it. And the pin ends up being a way that every single day our faculty and staff can let students know that they share this first generation status with our students. So it really becomes a way, hopefully, of having students feel like they have a touch point just by being able to see that this person also has gone through some of the journey that the students are going through now. So every other year that we have done anything for a first generation celebration, it has just been TRIO SSS with maybe some help from McNair. This year, it's SSS, it is McNair, it is our academic affairs, our dean and VP are totally on board. Our first year seminar coordinator is working with us. Our Holly series, which does for faculty and staff and students, all of these different programming, they are on board with it. We're going to have a panel of first generation students, staff, faculty, and alumni to talk to the students. And we're going to do it on the 9th, so that if students would like to be included in anything on the 8th, they can do the national stuff on the 8th, and then we're going to do ours on the 9th. Our marketing is helping us. We're going to do social media where we've sent out to the entire campus community. Are you first generation? How do you feel the first generation experience is? And it's going to be marketing on both Bloomfield College's website and then our social media. Everyone has been really great. Our institutional advancement is in it. Everyone has been really great about collaborating with this. It is the most collaboration I have seen on this campus. Not that we don't, but in my 10 years working here, it's really great. I'm really excited for students to understand that they should celebrate themselves, that being a first generation student is a difficult journey. I know it. It's a hard thing. I didn't know how to complete a FAFSA. I did not know what a bursar's office was. I did not know how to navigate through college. And I feel like some of the opportunities that I could have had, I didn't even know existed. I want them to know that there are people here on campus who understand that struggle and can empathize and sympathize with them so that they can really feel pride in it. And I really did, one of the new remodeling of the logo spoke to new heights and growth. I want these students to understand that they can grow and have opportunities they didn't know they had by being able to see people who are like them and see that they can succeed themselves and take pride in the journey and the successes that they've had now. I also hope that on campus, we can embrace that first generation pride a little more also. Not that we don't, but I think there's lots of things that we can do. So we're working on getting a chapter of Tri Alpha, which is a national first gen honor society here on campus, and maybe working more across silos and across different divisions to just maybe a first gen organization so that we can continue this work again. So the celebration isn't just on the 8th and the 9th, but it's every day. So I will say that I'm hoping, because not only do I like to look at things short term and like midterm, but really long term, I'm hoping that if we can really get this first generation community feeling going, that maybe we can even expand it into our outside community. We are a small college in a really lovely township, Bloomfield Township in New Jersey. And I'm sure that there are first generation college graduates here in town. And why shouldn't they also be able to celebrate with us, since we're basically in the center of town? So my long term is to bring it out to the community and the larger areas so that they can maybe come in and interact and see how wonderful our students are. We are trying, and by we, I mean a lot of people across the Bloomfield College campus, especially Trio SSS, I'm going to toot our horn. We are trying to build a community that takes pride in your successes, in the successes of every student who is a first generation college student. And we want you to take advantage of that. We want you to use the resources and let us know how we can help you, because we can't do it without you. We have pride in our own successes, and we definitely have pride in our students' successes. We love to see you graduate. We love to see when students finish their classes, when they get Dean's List. But we also want to see other ways that you think we can help you. And all you have to do is ask, because we're already trying to build the scaffolding. You just have to tell us how to put all the rest of the work in, and we'll do it. But we do it because we're so proud of first generation students. We do it because we see how hard you work and how dedicated you are. And that's what keeps it going every day, every day. As a first gen kid, I had no clue. I had to go where they gave me a scholarship. I was lucky that it was a great school, but my parents had no clue. When I said, how are we paying for college? They said, we don't know. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So I had no idea, and I had no idea how to navigate anything. Yeah. And I know that I missed probably some opportunities. And I definitely know that I could have made more informed decisions through my college career and then into graduate school that I didn't make because I was a first gen kid. Like, I didn't know you could go right into a PhD program. I thought you had to get a master's, just like you had to graduate high school and then graduate college. So I didn't apply to any PhD programs. If I had known, I would have had my PhD 5 years after I graduated college. And now it's many years later, and I'm thinking of a PhD program, 3-4 years from now. I don't want our students to feel like they learn things after the fact. It stinks. It stinks. They're dealing with family. They're dealing with jobs. They're dealing with, like, how am I going to help mom and dad pay the rent? How am I going to pay my own rent? taking care of grandmas and grandpas and disabled aunts and uncles and little brothers and sisters. And they're doing all of this on top of 4 to 5 classes a semester. They're amazing. Somebody should be clapping for these kids, and not just during graduation. I'm really proud. I think I started out as an adjunct professor, and I taught in like all of the surrounding areas in New Jersey. I taught at one of the most affluent counties in New Jersey, and I've taught it at one of the least affluent counties in New Jersey. And I'm not knocking any students. Anybody who goes to school and works it should be lauded. Our students are amazing. They're amazing. And being able to let them know that other people think they're amazing, they're floored. They're floored because you're right. It's like, this is what I have to do. I have to keep moving. And we're like, you don't even realize how much you put on your shoulders and how much you succeed. Feel good about that.